Looks like we might have a little BMW on BMW action here as Jack Davis is out front. Last year's second place finisher. And I believe that is, I'll have to see once the car turns sideways. Yep, that is Todorov in the chase position. Jack Davis out front in that Duchworks BMW E36. And Vadim Todorov giving chase. Vadim's doing a great job in the chase position there, staying out of the smoke, trying to get that front tire right into the door of Jack Davis. Yes. Crowd participation is welcome. And I'll be calling on you guys later. I'm easing you guys in. All right, Justin Chestnut out front in that 1 Series BMW, throwing it sideways, initiating nice on throttle. Smooth transition through the power alley. Chestnut's doing a good job in the lead position. But Kevin, not sure what's going on. I don't know if he's just in it for the show, but he's going to have to get together really quick or figure out what's going on with that car. I was told, now, I don't know if this is fake news or not, but I was told Kevin is actually driving his girlfriend's car. So I can neither confirm or deny those allegations, but he does say he likes to party. He said if he wins, he would propose to his girlfriend in front of everyone. Maybe that's why he's not driving so good. I don't know. I'll leave that one alone. All right, we have Josh McGuire out front and Jason Stacy in that chase position. Josh McGuire shutting it down halfway through that final outer zone. So again, this is practice. So some of these drivers may be just going over certain portions of the track, trying to conserve their engines, trying to conserve their tires. No hassling the judges, people. No hassling the judges. All right, here we go. It's Ty Stewart out front. Jack Davis in the chase position. Nice run by both drivers. Ty Stewart doing a great job in that lead position, and Jack Davis, he's going to go into kill mode halfway through that outer zone there. Almost getting lost in the smoke, though. Again, don't want to get too aggressive during practice. I've seen drivers just get a little crazy during practice and cause some damage to their vehicle. Definitely want to thank everyone for joining us here year after year. Hopefully we're creating some new drift fans. We want to thank Holley for creating LS Fest and just an event, a festival, as you will, that allows all these motorsports disciplines to intermingle. So you got drifters going over watching the drag racing, you got drag guys coming over to watch the drifting, you have fans that maybe have never seen drifting or drag racing live before, getting that opportunity to do it all under the same roof. We came over from Vegas last month, and with a record turnout crowd, we're looking for many years to come of LS Fest. All right, if you're just walking over from the other areas of the track, we are almost winding down our pre-qualifying practice. So what you're seeing right now is just some tandem practice, giving the drivers just a last chance to dial in their setup if they need to make any changes, get some last-minute practice before they have to do qualifying. We're doing a single run qualifying where each driver will have a chance, 2 chances to put some scores on the board. We have 3 judges right here in front of the grandstands. Those judges, they're going to be analyzing and scoring each driver's run. As I said, all the drivers will get 2 chances to put some scores on the board. We'll take the higher of the 2 scores, and that'll seat them in the bracket, the top 16 bracket later on today, around 2 o'clock. We're going to do our top 16 battle all the way to the finals. So make sure you don't go anywhere. If you do, we will be live streaming. We are live streaming currently. So you can check out the live stream. You can share the live stream. Live stream is basically what you're seeing on the Jumbotron. You guys have we have that advantage here at the Texas Motor Speedway where you can actually watch it live and you can watch the live stream at the same time. But if you have friends or family that want to check out some drift action, make sure you share the YouTube channel, LS Fest. It's going to be on Facebook as well, LS Fest Texas. Click on that link and share it to some friends or family. Looking down at the start, it does look like we have Jason Stacy in the lead lane and Kyle Guiley giving chase. Kyle shutting it down a couple times. Well, now Kyle's out front. That's not the way it's supposed to work. But all right, we'll go with it. Kyle Guiley out front and Jason Stacy in a chase position as they're getting probably the last, possibly one of their last practice runs before we start qualifying. And if you are looking on a schedule on the LS Fest website, the Drift Challenge finals were scheduled originally to start at 3 o'clock, but I do believe we bumped that up to 2 o'clock because there is some weather coming in later on today, so we want to make sure we can get a complete competition without rain. Yeah, you don't really, I don't know, drifting in the rain, yeah, it's fun. Definitely requires some extra skill, but I like to see tire smoke. I like to see these guys going as fast as possible. Definitely more action when it's dry. So we want to make sure that we can get a full competition off before the weather comes in. Hopefully the weather doesn't hit us at all. So far we've been avoiding it. Down at the end of the track at the start line is Jake Little in that RTS Chevy Corvette. And I do believe, kind of hard to tell from the front, but I do believe that is Ty Stewart in that Nissan 240SX. All right, making their way down the straight. Jack Little out front. They call him AKA Little Drifts. And nice initiation by Jake Little. Smooth transition. Oh, nope, see? It's actually Josh McGuire in the chase position. Josh McGuire kind of being a little sneaky this year, changing the color of his vehicle. I'm so used to the way his car looked before that I keep forgetting. That's, once I see the side, I'm good. See, that was Jason Stacy in that lead position over there. Jason Stacy coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, in a 1992 Nissan 240SX with about 385 horsepower. Title sponsors are God, his family, and soon to be working with Molinex Racing. So that'll be nice to have a partner on board help Jason with this program. And then in the chase position is Kevin Sosi, the future mayor of Van Alstyne. So I'm told. Says he likes to party. All right, next pair of drivers making their way down the straight. Now, I'm pretty confident it's Ty Stewart in the chase position. Juan in the lead position, trying to initiate. Kind of, it's almost like he didn't throw it in hard enough. Juan Seguero initiating at the initiation zone, but then almost straightening out for a split second, having to reinitiate just before the power alley. So we definitely want to see these drivers really committing to entry, their initiation. If you look down towards the start line, you'll see some cones off to the left of the course. That's the initiation point. That's the end of the line. You got to be drifting by that point. And the judges basically put those cones there to be able to assess if the drivers are initiating the drift in time. So if a driver does initiate, they need to commit to angle. If they initiate, they go start committing to angle and then kind of straighten out a little bit. It's not going to do themselves any favors. I can see Vadim Todorov warming up his tires over there at the start line, hopping in the lead lane. And then I believe that is Kyle Guiley warming up his tires in the chase position there in that black and green liveried Nissan 240SX. Vadim Todorov goes by Drifter Gone Wild, coming to us from Hutto, Texas, in a 1998 BMW M3. He's got a Texas Speed and Performance engine in there, 600 horsepower, rocking Valino tires. Sponsored by Texas Speed and Performance, Redline Oil, Koenig Wheels, Burning Tire Garage, and FDF Race Fab. You can check him out on social media at Drifter Gone Wild, as Vadim is in that lead position, making his way into that final outer zone. Vadim Todorov's been drifting for about 12 years, and he says he loves LS Fest. He says one of the best events in the country, and we happen to agree with him, that's for sure. He said if he wins, he's going to buy more cool parts for his competition car. Up in that, coming down the track now, looks like he's getting a solo run. And I'm being told this is going to be our last practice run before we start qualifying. And that is Jason Buchanan in that Scion FRS. All right, it looks like that was our last practice run. So now we're going to get right into qualifying. Do I have any new drift fans out there? Anybody that's been this is their first time drifting? Show of hands. New drift fans? One? Only one? So everybody else? Okay, you guys, you're going to have to come alive later on, I'll tell you that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a single run qualifying. That means we're going to have each driver drift through the course, I should say. They're going to get 2 shots to put some points on the board. The judges are going to score each run, and then we're going to take the higher of the 2 scores, and that's going to seat them in a top 16 bracket for the competition later on. And the way we run that top 16 bracket is that number 1 qualifier will battle against the number 16th place qualifier, the second versus the 15th, and we kind of just work our way towards the middle, and we just keep battling it out until we get a winner. There can be only one, they say. And our returning champion from last year, Jake the Ripper Wise, is out here to see if he can take home that number 1 spot again. But he's going to have to get past some heavy hitters. Jack Davis back for a little bit of redemption. Jack Davis finished 2nd place last year. I got you guys on a live stream. So yes, we're not just on a Jumbotron, we're on the live stream, so you guys want to wave to those that are watching from around the country. Always a good time out here at the Texas Motor Speedway.
If you're looking to hook up multiple tuning interfaces, displays, or an easy way to hook up your Sniper 2 system to a laptop, the Sniper 2 CAN Hub is what you're looking for. The CAN Hub allows you to connect your laptop via USB-C without disconnecting the M8 connector.
Can you guys hear me?
You can run up to 3 displays at once, giving you a comprehensive view of your engine's vital signs.
No.
This means you can hook up a Sniper 5-inch digital dash
the whole time?
or go all out with a 6.8 or 12.3 M8 Pro dash for a fully immersive experience. Want even more flexibility? Hook up the Bluetooth dongle and tune your ride from the palm of your hand, literally. Use your phone or tablet to monitor and adjust performance. The options are endless. The Sniper 2 CAN hub's M8 connectors offer secure, waterproof connectivity and a durable, compact design that's ideal for underhood applications. Best of all, installation's very easy. It's completely plug and play. Plug it in, fire it up, and get ready to unleash the full fury of your Sniper 2 EFI system. Some Sniper 2 models may need a firmware update to work with the CAN hub. Grab the latest ECU firmware from our website to make sure you have the latest features and improvements. Unlock your ride's potential with Sniper 2 EFI's CAN hub. Learn more at Holley.com. Drop some OEM swagger on your LS swapped engine with Holley's Retro Filter Air Cleaner. Installing a Holley Retrofit Air Cleaner is a perfect way to keep those classic looks while enjoying the benefits of modern fuel injection. These air cleaners give your LS engine a retro look by hiding the throttle body inside. They have a low profile and a hidden opening to keep wires nice and tidy. To adapt your drive-by-wire throttle body to your LS, you'll need Holley's drive-by-wire throttle body adapter. This throttle body adapter works with Holley intake manifolds with 4150 or 4160 square bore flanges. They are compatible with LS-style drive-by-wire throttle bodies. The Holley Retro Filter Air Cleaner sandwiches between the throttle body and the throttle body adapter. They can also be used with top-mounted 4150 4-barrel EFI intakes with LS3 drive-by-wire components. We offer two retro filter designs, a 14-inch dual snorkel and a 16-inch round. Both are made with durable, lightweight stamped aluminum. Each kit includes a high-quality, washable, and reusable cotton gauze filter for excellent engine protection. Choose from black or chrome to match your car's style. Add some vintage flair to your LS swap with Holley's Retro Filter Air Cleaner Kit. For more information on Holley performance products, visit our website at Holley.com.
All right, check 1, 2. You guys can hear me, right? All right. So we're about to start qualifying here, and as I mentioned before, it may sound like a broken record. I do apologize, but we have people coming and going. We're going to do qualifying. It's going to be a single run qualifying. Each driver is going to have 2 chances to get some points on the board. They're going to get 2 consecutive runs. The judges are going to score both runs, and we're going to utilize the higher of the 2 scores in order to seat each driver in the top 16 bracket for the competition later on. If you're following the schedule on lsfest.com, the schedule for the Drift Challenge has changed slightly. We are starting at 2 o'clock versus 3 o'clock. But here we go. We have Jake the Ripper Wise for his first practice run. Or, I don't know. This is our returning champion. Okay, something's going on here. I don't know. Is he throwing in the towel early? Guys, give it up for Jake the Ripper Wise. He's getting out of the vehicle. I don't know. Maybe he's bringing some water to the judges or something? I'm puzzled here. He's got his helmet off. This is our first place finish, our returning champion. Give it up for Jake the Ripper Wise. I'm not sure what's going on, Jake. Oh, car's shutting down. Okay, this is not really the way we want to start qualifying. So, So we're going to have to get some feedback. But let me give you a little, I guess, tally about the man, Jake the Ripper. Coming to us from Rio Vista, Texas. Talking with the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Swan. Okay. Does he think he's in the car show? Yep, that's an LS. Definitely an LS. Okay. What do we got going on, fellas? All right. I see some pointing and some serious looks, and uh-oh, this man means business. Nick Swan's coming over here to, interesting. What? What do we need? A what? Okay, something's going on. I think this is his girlfriend coming over to the track. Whoa, she's good at jumping fences. All right. Huh. Very peculiar. All right. Some puzzled minds right now, I think. None more puzzled right now than Jake Wise's girlfriend. They're kind of talking together here. Maybe she's going to fix the car. Oh, no, wait. Okay. Oh, okay. Something's going on here. I think I know what's going on. Oh, that was. I guess she said. Was that a proposal? All right. Give it up for Jake the Wise. All right. Oh, there we go. Now it's official. Now it's official. Get your towels out. Gonna shed some tears. So no matter what happens, Jake Wise is taking home the championship, at least at home. All right, give it up for Jake Wise here at the Texas Motor Speedway. It's a family affair, and we can see. Oh, I almost want to shed a tear. Wow. All right. Well, what do you guys think? You've seen a little bit of everything today, right? We've seen some drifting, seen some drag racing, seen some marriage proposals. Congratulations, Jake. Oh, it's all love. All right, one last time. Give it up for Jake the Ripper Wise. He's already winning, right, folks? Already winning. All right, now we're going to officially start qualifying here at the Trip Challenge, Texas Motor Speedway 2025. Give it up for Jake the Ripper Wise as he rips up the track. Oh, no! Oh, can we edit that out? We got to edit that out. Safety first. I mean, you kind of can't blame the man getting a little caught up and forgetting. He's got a good excuse. That's all I can say. All right, now we're going to get underway qualifying. Well, his windshield looks good, so we should be good to go. All right, now we're just gonna actually get into qualifying shortly. So we're just waiting for the first driver to pull up to the start line so we can get underway. Again, each driver is gonna have their chance to put some points on the board. They're gonna get 2 back-to-back runs. The judges laid out a predetermined race line. The judges had a chance to explain exactly what they're looking for from each one of the drivers. So we have a series of inside clips, mostly outer zones. We do have an initiation point where the drivers must be sideways. So if you look down on the left-hand side of the track, you'll see some cones as they make their way down the straight. The drivers need to be sideways by the time they pass those cones. Once they pass those cones, they need to commit to angle, and they need to mash on the throttle, make a quick transition, and then floor it through the power alley, which is an outside zone in itself. And here we go. First run, making his way down the straight, and I do believe that is Kevin Sosi. Kevin Sosi, well, that's going to be a 0. Definitely want to see him drifting sideways. Not sure what's going on. Says he's going to be the future mayor of Van Alstyne, but he better not add this to his campaign. You can find him at the Kevin Sosi. Sosi spelled S-O-U-C-I-E. He said he likes to party. Maybe he partied a little too much last night. I don't know. He did say, well, so this is his girlfriend's vehicle, so I don't know. Maybe he's just being a little careful, though. But he said, Kevin said if he wins, he'd propose to his girlfriend in front of everybody. I think Jake already beat him to that punch. Or maybe that's why he drove straight through. I don't know. I guess that's a conversation for later. All right, now I see Jake the Ripper Wise warming up his tires. These drivers are playing with my emotions. I don't know what's happening. All right, so Jake the Ripper Wise pulling up to the start line for his first qualifying run. You can find him at jwise.3 on Instagram, Jake Wise Racing on YouTube, drifting for about 6 years. Again, the returning champion from last year. He said if he wins, he's going to kiss his sweetheart, Courtney. So, Courtney, congratulations. I think he put a ring on it. So, here we go. Jake the Ripper Wise ripping his way through that first transition through the power alley. Nice, throwing it sideways through that final outside zone. Jake the Ripper Wise just flooring that vehicle through that final outer zone. Putting some points on the board. You know, believe it or not, it's not all just about going crazy here. There is a little method to the madness. You know, you want to get some points on the board, so a lot of times drivers will put a solid first run down, and that gives them the ability to be a little more aggressive on the second run. I've seen several drivers come out on their first practice or their first qualifying run going a little too aggressive, spinning out, and then almost taking themselves out of competition. So they only have 2 chances to get some points on the board, and I do believe Jake Wise did just that. He's going to get his second qualifying run. Again, Jake Wise coming to us from Rio Vista, Texas. Newly engaged, as those of you that are here on live stream and live have just witnessed. He's got a Smeding Performance engine with about 550 horsepower, rocking Zick Nova tires. Sponsored by Holley Performance, Doghouse Performance, Grip Innovations, and RAR Performance. Says he loves Nick Swan and Holley Performance, and that's why he's here, as Jake the Ripper Wise is setting the track on fire, making his way through that final outer zone. Give it up for Jake the Ripper Wise for his second qualifying run. One last thing, Jake wanted to make sure that he wanted to thank everybody for coming here to the Texas Motor Speedway and LS Fest. The fans make this absolutely great, and I couldn't agree more. And I do believe that is Kevin Sosi at the line. I know we saw him kind of just drive through his first qualifying run. And he's making his way down the straight. Kevin Sosi making his way down the straight. I'm not sure. I know last time he did initiate. Okay, yeah, he is initiating. Hopefully he's going to get some points on the board. On the throttle, working his way through the power alley. Future mayor of Van Alstyne, everybody. Final transition. And he makes his way through that final outer zone, and it looks like he will get some points on the board. So give it up to Kevin Sosi, the future mayor of Van Alstyne. Coming to us from Van Alstyne, Texas. Next driver at the line, we have Justin Chestnut in that BMW 1 Series. Justin Chestnut coming to us from Denver, Colorado in a 2008 BMW 128i. Obviously powered by an LS. It's got about 630 horsepower NA. If he's spraying nitrous, he's about 840. Rocking them Zick Nova tires, sponsored by Holley, Kensei Wheels, After Hours Autosports, Big Duck Club, and YO Tech. All right. It's Justin Chestnut really laying down the hammer through that final outside zone, getting some points on the board, securing his spot in the top 16 competition. Justin's been drifting for about 8 years. You can find him at Chestnut_Motorsports on social media. He's utilizing a Holley intake manifold, oil pan, nitrous kit, Simpson safety gear. And when we asked Justin Chestnut what he likes and if he wanted anyone in the audience to know, he's saying he loves goth girls. So interesting fun fact of Justin Chestnut. Here we go. Justin Chestnut, nice initiation, throwing the car sideways as he makes his way into the power alley, full throttle, riding the outside of the edge of the track. Give it up for Justin Chestnut. Wow, nice. Laying down that hammer, putting on a smoke show. Give it up for, well, look at all that angle. Oh! I don't know. Did he make it past the finish line before he spun? I don't know. Does it count as a 0? I guess it doesn't matter. He did get some points on the board on that first run. Getting a little too wild and crazy. Justin Chestnut from Denver, Colorado. Next driver at the start line. It's going to be one of 2 BMW E36s. So I'm not too sure yet. I don't know if you send me Morse code or what. All right, coming down the straight. About to enter the initiation zone, and that is Vadim Todorov. Vadim Todorov, drifter gone wild, coming to us from Hutu, Texas. Nice full run. Wow, Vadim really laying on the throttle through that outer zone there. Vadim Todorov in that 1998 BMW M3. With that Texas Speed and Performance LS, about 600 horsepower. Rocking Valino tires. Sponsored by Texas Speed and Performance, Redline Oil, Koenig Wheels, Burning Tire Garage, and FDF Race Shop. You can find him on social media, Drifter Gone Wild, but drifted for about 12 years. He said LS Fest is one of the best events in the country at one of the best venues here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Vadim said he would not be here if it was not for his wife and his amazing team. So shout out for all the support his wife and his team has given him to be able to compete. This is not an easy sport. All right, Vadim for a second run, making his way down the straight. Nice transition, good angle. Switch back down to power alley. Full throttle as he makes his way into that final outer zone. Looking sharp is Vadim Todorov. Drifter gone wild, and he is going absolutely wild here for his second qualifying run. Give it up for Vadim Todorov. Looking down at the track. I know it's going to be one of 2 drivers. I'm pretty confident, not 100%. It's kind of hard to tell from the front of the vehicle, but I do believe that is Ty Stewart. Yes, it is Ty Stewart. Ty Stewart from Fort Worth, Texas, in a 1995 Nissan 240SX with a K-Tech C5R 427, 550 horsepower on Zick Nova tires. Wow, look at Ty ripping through the power alley as he transitions into the final outer zone, and he is just laying the hammer down as he is just burning through those Zick Nova tires. Ty sponsored by Eskimo Air, Jesse's Performance, Aloha Tint Spot, Zick Nova, and Cosmos Wheels. You can find him, Ty Stewart 4 on social media. Been drifting on and off for the last 12 years. He says it's close to home, so he likes to come out here and throw down with all his other friends and just loves to compete. Says if he wins, he's taking his whole crew out to eat. We asked Ty, what does he have? Is he utilizing any Holley performance parts? He said he basically took the whole Holley catalog and threw it into this car. So whatever you need for your drift vehicle, your race vehicle, your drag vehicle, from From engine to safety, from race shoes to helmets, they got you covered from head to toe. All right, here we go. Ty Stewart making his way down the straight. Let's see if he can top that first run. Nice initiation. Switching back into the power alley. Full throttle. Nice angle. Dropping a tire. That's okay. Using a complete course from left to right. Little bobble there entering into that final outer zone. I don't think it'll affect him too much. Had a solid first run. As I mentioned, the driver or the judges are going to basically take the higher of the two scores. And I guess that was a beep of approval. Maybe disapproval. I'm not sure. He wanted to make sure everybody knows to give Eskimo Air a call for all your air conditioning and heating services needs. Next car coming down the straight. I believe that is Evan Shanks. Evan Shanks having a little trouble snapping the angle off initiation. They call him Fat Daddy from Dallas, Texas. Evan Shanks maybe being a little conservative. I saw him ripping up the track earlier, so he wants to get some points on the board. Sponsored by Black Tie Detailing, 5-3 Supply, and Shanks Racing. You can find him on social media. If you're not already following him, you can find him at Evan Shanks. Evan definitely comes from when you talk to the drivers, they have a lot of interesting stories. So I did get a chance to catch up with Evan, and you know, he's been drifting for quite a while and had to take a break for a little bit. Had to deal with some health issues, and he's really a big advocate on mental health. Very, I think he's got very popular on YouTube. I think he's got about 1 million followers, and he just had to make some changes in his life, and we're really excited to see him back behind the driver's seat here competing. But you want to check him out because, you know, he's willing to share the things he's struggling with mental health, and able to come out victorious. But of course, it's a day-to-day struggle. Definitely somebody we look up to. So shout out to Evan Shanks as he makes his way down the straight. Nice initiation, a little more angle. Looks like he's getting a little more aggressive all the way down the power alley. Full throttle, much cleaner this time around as he makes his way through that final outside zone, just mashing the throttle to the floor. Give it up for Evan Shanks from Dallas, Texas in that Nissan 370Z. All right. And that is Josh McGuire at the start, warming up his tires. Josh McGuire in that white Nissan 240SX at the start line, ready to make his first attempt at qualifying. Here we go. Josh McGuire making his way down the straight. Looks like he's got good speed. Nice little flick initiation, locking the angle, smooth right past that first inside clip, down the power alley. Nice angle. Again, another smooth transition. Throwing some good angle as he makes his way into that final outside zone and just laying down the hammer. Give it up for Josh McGuire. Getting that's a solid first qualifying run. I don't know. We'll see if he can top that. Everybody having a good time out here so far? Everybody going to come back and watch the competition a little bit later? All right, yeah. There we go. Judges are very excited today. All right, Josh McGuire making his way back up to the start line for his second qualifying run. Had a stellar first qualifying run, so it's going to be interesting to see if he could top his first score as he makes his way down the straight. Josh McGuire, always exciting to watch. Definitely a #1 contender to take home that #1 spot today as he transitions into the power alley, full throttle. Wow, as Josh McGuire is just setting the track on fire. Setting that track on fire, McGuire. Solid, solid run by Josh McGuire. Up in the burnout box, I do believe that is the Seven Oaks Chevy Corvette of Mike Phillips. Mike Phillips coming to us from Georgetown, Texas in that 2008 Chevy Corvette, powered by an LS3 with about 500 horsepower. He's going to be rocking Valino tires, trying to get all that power down to the ground. The vehicle sponsored by Seven Oaks Coffee, Advanced Fuel Dynamics, and Hyperactivity Media. You can find him at mike.phillips.52 on social media. Been drifting for well over 10 years. A former FD competitor here at the Texas Motor Speedway LS Fest, looking to take home that #1 spot. Here we go. Mike Phillips making his way down the straight. Nice initiation. Back into the power alley on the throttle in that Seven Oaks Coffee Chevy Corvette of Mike Phillips as he enters the final outer zone. Nice angle, smooth line, and he makes his way off the course. Solid, solid first qualifying run from Mike Phillips. Says he's not currently rocking any Holley performance parts, but he said he really could use a supercharger or a bottle. Couldn't we all? Mike Phillips says, grew up a Chevy guy. He said, bow tie or die, baby. Also wanted to say hello to Kenzie and Cole. So I don't know if Kenzie and Cole are watching on a live stream or here live. He want to make sure he says, what up? Here we go. Mike Phillips making his way down the straight for his second qualifying run. Initiating right on the edge of the track there. Smooth. Transitioning into the power alley. Getting on the throttle. Final transition into the final outer zone. And back on the throttle is Mike Phillips. Give it up for Mike Phillips from Georgetown, Texas. Another driver you want to keep your eye on is Jack Davis, which is at the start line right now. Jack Davis coming to us from Bixby, Oklahoma in that 1997 BMW E36 with about 930 horsepower, probably one of the most powerful vehicles here at the Drift Challenge this weekend. Sponsored by Deechworks, DND Performance Interior, Koenig Wheels, BC Racing, and FDF. Here we go. Jack Davis, last year's second place finalist, as he initiates and transitions into the power alley. Oh my goodness, the amount of speed Jack Davis carries through the power alley is absolutely insane, and he is just laying down the hammer. Give it up for Jack Davis. He wants that #1 spot. You can find him on social media at Jack_Davis_, drifting for about 11 years. Loves Holley LS Fest and loves this track. Says he's here to win. Finished second place last year. Unfortunately, in the finals, was not able to take out Jake Wise. Jack Davis is back for some redemption. He's here to win. All right, Jack Davis back at the start line for his second qualifying run. Extremely aggressive, exciting first qualifying run. I'm not sure if there's much room to top that. Definitely looking at a possible #1 qualifier. Here we go, Jack Davis. Already just a smoke machine on entry. Wow, look at Jack just tearing up the track as he makes his way through the final outer zone. Give it up for Jack Davis. I don't know. He looks like he is really hungry for that #1 spot. Nice run. I believe that is Jake Little up at the start line. Jake Little, they call him Little Drifts, in that green Chevy Corvette. He'll be coming to us from Lake Norman, North Carolina, in a 2009 Chevy Corvette. LS7 power, about 600 horsepower, and he's going to make use of some GT radial tires to pilot his way to the #1 spot. Here we go. Jake Little, nice initiation, transitioning into the power alley, mashing on the throttle. Final transition into the last outer zone, dropping a tire, but staying on course. Now he's back on line as he makes his way through that final outer zone. Solid lead run. Little, sponsored by RTS, ACT, G-Force Transmission, MZ Custom Fit, and Feel Suspension. You can check out his social media page at Little Drifts. He said he loves LS Fest and is so happy to be here. He said the LS power plant is the best motor in the world, and he just loves the sound of America. All right. Jake Little back at the start line, representing North Carolina in that RTS Chevy Corvette. Here we go. Jake Little, second qualifying run, looks more aggressive this time. Nice aggressive initiation as he makes his way through that first transition into the power alley. Good speed. You just got to hold together. Nice transition. A little cleaner this time around. Back in the throttle. I think this run is better than his first. Oh, almost shutting it down a little early there. I'm not. Well, still looks like he got a full pull. I do believe that is a Scion. I think that's the only Scion out here. My eyes don't deceive me. That would be Jason Buchanan. Jason Buchanan opting to swap an LS in a Scion FRS. Don't have too much information on him other than what he drives. But here we go. Nice aggressive initiation, but kind of midline. Like to see him initiate a little closer to the edge of the track, but my goodness. He is on the throttle as he rips his way through the power alley and into the final outer zone. My goodness, definitely laying down the hammer and just pouring out the smoke. Wow, solid second half. I would say he needs to work on that first half, kind of initiating a little shallow into that first transition. So if he could just tidy up the first half of that, that run with the second qualifying attempt, he should be able to top that first score. All in all, pretty solid run. Like I said, the only thing I could really point out, maybe nitpick, would be the entry. Entry kind of in the middle. We really want to see the drivers initiate on the edge of the track. But, man, he made it work, though. All right, Jason back up at the start line. Stands are getting packed as we're making our way almost halfway through qualifying. Here we go. Jason Buchanan. Nice aggressive initiation. Much better this time around. Filling out the first part of the course pretty well. Nice angle. Full throttle as he makes his way through the power alley. And he is just mashing that gas pedal through the floorboard. Oh, no. A little bobble there halfway through the final outer zone. But back in it to win it as Jason Buchanan comes off course. Give it up for Jason Buchanan. Looking at the start line, vehicle, I'm not 100% sure right now, but it looks like it's probably Kyle Guiley as he makes his way down the straight. Good speed coming in. Nice initiation, nice and wide. Getting on the edge of the track, transitioning past that first inside clip. Whoa, a lot of angle too early. Oh, no. Kyle Guiley having to reinitiate through the power alley. That's one of those moves that will unfortunately give you a 0. That once you commit to angle, you cannot be transitioning outside of transition areas, right? You have transition areas and then you have your zones. We don't want to see the drivers reinitiating through a zone. So as soon as you initiate, you got to lock that car's angle in, make your first transition, and basically just be on the throttle through the power alley and one final transition through the outer zone. If a driver spins out, straightens out, or reinitiates or goes completely off course along the way, it could basically give yourself a 0. So, but thankfully, Kyle Guiley has one more shot to get some points on the board. Kyle coming to us from Azell, Texas, in a 1993 Nissan 240SX with about 600 horsepower. He's rocking Ziknova tires, sponsored by Irwin Steel, Thompson's Motorsports, Monster Clutches, Texas Trackworks, and Holley. Much better this time around as he lays on the throttle through that final outer zone. Started drifting back in 2004. So this is his hometown track, lives about 30 minutes away, so looks like he might have just got some points on the board, so we should be seeing him in the competition later on. All right, next driver making his way down the straight. It is Juan Seguero. Juan Seguero, nice initiate. Whoa, a little too wide on initiation. Not what he needs to do. He's going to have to, wow. So now the pressure's on. He needs to get a full pull. Sitting on a 0 on his first qualifying run. He only has one more chance to get some points on the board. Juan coming to us from Round Rock, Texas, in a 1995 BMW E36. I believe this is his first time here. And with about 350-ish horsepower, he's running Kenda tires. Been drifting for about 4 years. You can find him on social media at OneEasy08. Like most of the other drivers, if he does walk away with some prize money, it's going to go right back into the vehicle. Juan said if you're ever in Austin or Houston area, you need to check out Cabo Bob's Burritos. Hands down the best burrito spot in town. So I'm assuming he's affiliated in some way. Maybe they can, with that kind of shout out, they need to give this man some money to perform, to get out here and support his program. All right, Juan Seguero back at the start line with his final attempt to get some points on the board. He really needs to play it safe and just get some points on the board, have a nice full pull. It can definitely be nerve-wracking knowing you're going in a second and final qualifying run, knowing that you need to get some points on the board. Juan using an LS3. As I said, rocking those Kenda tires. No official sponsors, but definitely want to shout out Kenda, BC Racing, and Holley, FDF, and Texas Speed. Here we go. Juan Seguero out on his final qualifying run. A little better this time around as he transitions through that first clipping point and through the power alley. All right, Juan looks like he's got it dialed in as he makes his way through that final outside zone. He just has to hold it together and get some points on the board, and he does. Give it up for Juan Seguero from Round Rock, Texas. I do believe this is his first time out here at the Texas Motor Speedway. And it looks like Jason Stacy is at the line, coming out of the burnout box. see some fist bumping already as he's at the start line ready to go. All right, Jason Stacy making his way down the straight. Nice little shallow initiation. Coming through the power alley with good speed. My goodness, flying through the power alley. Jason Stacy now attacking that final outside zone. Jason Stacy coming to us from San Antonio, Texas in a 92 Nissan 240SX. Rocking an LS2 with about 385 horsepower. Said his title sponsors are God, Family, and soon to be working with Mullinex Racing, an LS specialist from La Verna, Texas. You can hit him up on social media at Burnt Rubber. Started drifting back in 2011. He was fortunate enough to come out here and have a good time, throw down with some of his friends, and try to take home that #1 spot. So he'd like to go forced induction, supercharger, or something, but he definitely wants to get some more horsepower out of that LS power plant of his. So he's out here with his girlfriend Chelsea and a friend Jared, who are crewing for him, so you definitely want to give them a shout out. So shout out to Chelsea and Jared for helping your boy make his way through competition here at the Texas Motor Speedway, the Drift Challenge at LS Fest Texas. Here we go. Jason Stacy make his way down the straight for his second qualifying run. Kind of shallow on initiation, but man, he is really keeping that speed through the power alley. Final transition through that last outside zone. Looking pretty solid there. Clean run by Jason Stacy. All right, Eugene Fagelman struggling with some electrical gremlins earlier this weekend. Nice initiation. All right, Eugene Fagelman may have solved all his problems much better this time around. All right, Eugene. Oh, no. Eugene looking solid through the power alley, coming out of drift in between the power alley and the final outer zone, not doing himself any favors. Eugene Fagelman. Eugene coming to us from Louisville, Texas in a 1998 Nissan 240SX truck with a 427 LS3, about 525 horsepower. He's rocking Accelera tires, sponsored by Yellow Speed Racing, Flag Motorsports, D&D Performance Interiors, Holley, and Patterson Performance. You can find them at EF Racing 414 on social media. Says he's never complained about having too much money, so he definitely enjoyed it, the cash prize if he walked away victorious this weekend. Eugene wanted to shout out to all the fans, photographers, announcers, organizers, and all the people that chose to be part of this event. With this passion for drifting, this passion for motorsports, Eugene is having the time of his life out there. Full throttle through the power alley. Eugene, much better this time around. Final transition. Wow, really snapping to a lot of angle, holding it together, and this is the Eugene we want to see. Aggressive, nice, quick transitions, making his way off the course. Give it up for Eugene Fagelman. Wants to give a shout out to his wife. Gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last year. It's all about family. All right, does look like that is Ryan Acevedo out at the start line. Ryan Acevedo coming to us from Jacksonville, Florida in that 2003 Nissan 350Z thankfully removing the VQ and popping in an LS because it sounds so much better in that ISR Performance 350Z. Ooh. Ryan was definitely struggling earlier this weekend through some electrical gremlins as well. And it looks like he's maybe down a little bit of power there. When that vehicle is at 100%, he's at about 600 horsepower, rocking Ziknova tires in that ISR Performance 350Z. Also sponsored by Locals Pub, BC Racing, Kensei Wheels, and Holley Performance. Find him at Ryan Acevedo on social media. Drifter for about 6 years. Says he loves the track. He said if he wins, he's going to buy his dog more treats and replace some tires for the next event. Ryan always loves Jax, his dog. Wanted to give a shout out to his dog, Jax, at home. Hopefully watching him on the live stream. Once again, want to shout out to Holley for putting together LS Fest, the only engine-specific festival of its kind in the world. Nowhere in the world do you have this much love for a power plant like the LS. The LS powering everything from off-road vehicles to fan boats to motorcycles to airplanes to drift cars to drag cars. I mean, there really is nothing you can't put an LS in that wouldn't make it better. But LS Fest bridging that gap between motorsports disciplines, drifting, drag racing. The fans are getting restless over here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Looks like, I believe we just have one more driver. I think Ryan Acevedo will be the last qualifier. We're just going to give him a minute to look under the hood of his vehicle. As we saw just before, he did look like he was fighting that vehicle under power. I don't know if the vehicle was cutting out. He did mention he had to change some, I believe he had to change some coil packs and some spark plug wires. But guys, please, after we get this last qualifying run, we will be back here at 2 o'clock. If you have to leave or you're in another area of the track, you can check out the live stream. We are live streaming this. The top 16 competition, so you can check it. Please share it with your friends and family that were not able to make it to the event this weekend, and spread the love. That's the best thing you could do for us, is just spread the word here at the Texas Motor Speedway and LS Fest. Thank you, Holley, and all the other vendors, and thank you, fans, for coming out here and supporting this event year after year. We look forward to many years back here at the Texas Motor Speedway, but we still have one more run before we can call it quits until the competition. Ryan Acevedo, definitely a fierce competitor, so we want to definitely like to see him battle it out later on today. But looks like the scores are on the screen there. So you can see who's at the number one spot. It does look like Josh McGuire is sitting at the number one spot, and Davis the number 2 spot. So those are your scores for the Holley LS Fest Texas at the Texas Motor Speedway. we still have one more driver to complete one more run to see if we can't just completely fill out that bracket. Ryan Acevedo, unfortunately sitting at a 0, was not able to get the car sideways through his first qualifying run. We're really hoping he can get that car up and going and back to the line shortly so we can get some points on the board. If you're kind of curious what is coming up next, please go on to the LS Fest website and you can click on the Texas event schedule. Again, if you do look at that schedule, some of the activities may have shifted because we do see a storm in the distance working its way over towards us this early afternoon. So I know we did bump up the Drift Challenge Top 16 competitions to 2 o'clock. So that's going to happen. That's going to take place about an hour earlier than expected. Again, so far it's been overcast, but it hasn't rained as of yet. And I'm not trying to jinx ourselves, but I think we might be able to walk away with a full pool. All right, yeah, so I am getting official word. Ryan Acevedo not able to make repairs to his vehicle. So that is going to conclude our qualifying. Please make your way back over here in a few hours, as we are going to actually just over an hour, and we're going to start the top 16 competition. So thank everybody for watching. Thank you, fans here live. Please make your way back here in about an hour so we can see who will walk away victorious here at the Texas Motor Speedway for the Drift Challenge at LS Fest Texas. We'll see you soon.